I'd like to draw your attention to the video screens and give you our first field report in the form of a video where you're going to hear from our international people, Reuben David, Mundo and Esther Gomez, Oleg Voskresensky, and Scott Boeser. Your attention to the screens, please.
Hello, I'm Reuben David, an associate teacher with Faith Search International Ministries. Ideas of consequences, good ideas of good consequences, bad ideas of bad consequences. As the theme of today's event is understanding the times, the scripture makes it very clear that the sons of Issachar in the Old Testament were men who understood the signs of times to help Israel what they should do. And I find my privilege to help understand the signs of times in the culture in which we live today with Faith Search Ministries. A few months ago, I spoke at a high school on why Christianity makes sense, and there were students who came up to me and said, "Thank you for helping me to connect the dots. It does make sense to believe that the Bible has more evidence to believe than in any other books." Another one said, "Thanks for helping me connecting the intersection of science and Christianity." Young people today are asking questions, and they're deeply interested in evidence and reasons as to why we should believe what we believe. And it's been my privilege working with Faith Search in helping people understand religions and the supremacy of Jesus Christ among world religions. My desire is to help the church, the schools, the universities, and the marketplaces in shaping the uniqueness of the Christian worldview given other philosophies. Thank you for helping this Faith Search ministry. Thank you for praying with us, and thank you for your generous contribution. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Esther.
En Mundo Gómez. En estos últimos 18 años que Dios nos ha permitido de trabajar con latinos en Latinoamérica y Estados Unidos.
In these last 18 years that God has permitted us to work with Latinos in Latin America and in the United States,
se nos ha hecho patente que aunque hablan el mismo idioma, son 18 culturas diferentes con diferentes necesidades.
it has become evident to us that although they may speak the same language, there are more than 18 different cultures, each one with its own needs. One thing they all have in common is their need to identify themselves with something and to belong. They are tired of a popular, emotional faith that is more like a supermarket selling promises that when they are not effective, the believer is blamed for a lack of faith. Postmodernism and the theory of evolution have gained much ground with them because it offers concepts that appear more intellectual. This has been a challenge for us because it has caused them to close their ears to the gospel and has made them skeptical. In these past few years, working in the area of apologetics, showing the existence of God, especially with the help of Faith Search's tools, Surprised by Faith and Discovery, doors have been opened in the lives of young people and adults alike to be guided with firm steps in their faith and to build a daily walk with Christ with a strong biblical, intelligent, real, and spiritual foundation.
An old Italian saying goes like this: when God created time, he created just enough of it. For me, understanding the times means to use every window of opportunity to proclaim the gospel, to pack my teaching schedule in Russia with as many events as possible, and to be ready to add even more whenever he grants me with a chance for yet another one. Yes, the gospel has already been proclaimed for 20 centuries, but my time is now, and I do not want to miss even the shortest moment of it. It is urgent, simply because somebody in my today's audience may not have another prospect to hear it tomorrow. On my 5 3-week-long teaching trips to Russia per year, I sometimes have a chance to present to as many as hundreds of public school teachers at a time, or to teach in a classroom with several dozen students, or to train just 4 or 5 fellow ministers or lay leaders. Shall I then measure the effectiveness of my ministry by the size of my audiences? Not at all. My goal is to be always prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks me to give the reason for the hope that I have. In this verse, 1 Peter 3:15, the key word seems to be always, which means today, now, every time. When the Faith Search Russian ministry started 2006, I began by presenting in churches and teaching in Bible colleges 5 years later, the Lord graciously opened for us a rather unique opportunity to train Russian public school teachers and to teach in Russian state universities. I'm looking forward to seeing what other new avenues for proclaiming the truth He will lay out for us in the future. Until then, I'm very busy. No time to lose. This is how I understand the times.
Good evening. Some of you know me as an associate teacher and evangelist with Faith Search. I've been with the organization for about 4 years now. I grew up here in the South Metro. I have a huge family, 16 amazing nieces and nephews. That makes me a professional uncle. And for years I did youth ministry before I received a master's degree in counseling, at which time I did a lot of individual, marital, and group counseling, some of it in the local prison system here. I have a real heart for incarcerated guys. Years ago, I heard the call for some short-term mission trips to Central Europe and then the longer-term commitment to the country known as Slovakia. I served in the capital city, Bratislava, from 2005 to 2011, primarily doing prison ministry. It was an amazing time. When I got home, that's when I was recruited by Faith Search to come on board here. And as I've been honing my focus here, I've realized what an urgent, critical situation we have with our young people who are born and raised in Christian homes, going to youth group, and then going to college and walking away from their faith in droves. It's an urgent matter, and out of that came the program we're calling Operation Armor, where we are helping young people to understand the times, to have a worldview which is rooted on the foundation of our Christian beliefs and biblical beliefs. And that's my focus right now. Thank you so much for your participation with us in this, your support, your encouragement. We're so glad you're here tonight. Enjoy your evening.
How about that? Let's give those folks a round of applause.